In the shadow of a conflict that has shaken the very foundations of international diplomacy and security, a narrative emerges, one that weaves through the labyrinth of geopolitics, arms trade, and the unseen consequences of warfare. This story begins in the heart of Europe, in Ukraine, where the echoes of war reverberate across continents. As we delve into this tale, we find ourselves in the midst of a complex web of international aid and military support. The United States, leading a coalition of Western nations, has committed over 84 billion euros in military aid to Ukraine. This arsenal is not just a symbol of solidarity, but a statement of intent against aggression. Picture fleets of 155mm howitzers rolling across the landscape, 109 Bradley fighting vehicles maneuvering through war-torn streets, and skies clouded with the trails of high-mobility artillery rocket systems. This is a display of military might that is both awe-inspiring and deeply concerning. But the crux of our story lies not in the battlefields of Ukraine, but in the murky waters of the illegal arms trade. Russian President Vladimir Putin, a central figure in this narrative, raises an alarming claim. Weapons from the West sent to support Ukraine are finding their way into the Middle East. These arms, he alleges, are being sold to groups like the Taliban, fueling conflicts far beyond the borders of Ukraine. As we follow the trail of these weapons, we are led to a clandestine world where arms are currency and war is business. The allegations are not without merit. Interpol Secretary General Jürgen Stock, a voice of authority in this world of crime and punishment, has echoed similar concerns. He warns that the weapons pouring into Ukraine might end up in the hands of organized crime groups, a chilling reminder of the unintended consequences of intervention. The Global Initiative Against Transnational Organized Crime lends credence to these fears. Their report paints a vivid picture of Ukraine's battlefields turning into arsenals of anarchy, arming insurgents in Africa and gangsters in Europe. This is not mere speculation, but a warning grounded in historical precedents, a pattern repeated in conflict zones across the globe. As we navigate this complex narrative, we're reminded of the delicate balance between aid and accountability. Ukraine, embroiled in a fight for its very existence, asserts its vigilance in controlling these weapons. Yet, voices from the West, including the United States, urge for greater measures against corruption, highlighting the fine line between support and oversight. Our journey through this story takes us to a crossroads of morality and pragmatism. On one hand, there is the undeniable need to support a nation defending its sovereignty. On the other, there is the looming shadow of these weapons, fueling conflicts beyond our immediate sight, in lands already ravaged by war and strife. As we conclude this narrative, we are left with more questions than answers. How do we balance the urgent need to support allies with the responsibility to prevent the proliferation of arms? How do we ensure that today's solutions do not become tomorrow's problems? These are questions that demand our attention, for the answers will shape not just the outcome of the conflict in Ukraine, but the future of international peace and security. In the end, this is not just a story about a war in Europe. It is a tale of global implications where every action has a ripple effect and every decision carries the weight of history. As the world watches and waits, the story of Ukraine and the shadow of the illegal arms trade continues to unfold, a narrative that will be told and retold for generations to come.